Yeah. Okay. Now it says you are live. You able to see me? Okay, so. Yes. Okay, sir. Right. Thank you. So, what time do we start? Hello. Okay. 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 Oh. Good morning to all of you. All those wonderful participants who are here to participate in this YouTube live session organized by the GLS Law College. Before we get into the session, I need to really appreciate the GLS Law College as an institution and its leader, Dr. Mayuri Pandya, and and her wonderful faculty colleagues for conceiving such nice idea of engaging students even during the times of pandemic. This is not being done by most of the law schools. I'm sure that the students who have enrolled at the GLS Law College are really fortunate to have such a visionary team of the leaders and their teachers who are taking care of them. Ensure that there is no academic loss because of this lockdown or because of this pandemic. I know that this situation has created a lot of stress on people, but I must appreciate GLS Law College for making use of this time to mitigate the academic loss and also providing opportunities for students to engage with experts from various walks of life, which otherwise it would not have been possible. That's where I thought that I should start this session by appreciating GLS Law College and its director and its and her team of faculty members. Now, coming back to the topic that I was assigned to speak today, this is about humanity in times of catastrophes. And what are the takeaways? So, this is precisely I wish to talk to you for the next 30 or 40 minutes, and maybe then we will take some questions through the live chat, and I'll try and answer as much as possible. Last week, around the same time, I think it was precisely May 7, 2020, I woke up and I was checking my mobile phones for any messages and calls. I saw in my WhatsApp, received a video, and this video was depicting a girl standing in a bus stand somewhere. I do not know where exactly it was. The video just starts with a girl standing in a bus stand and suddenly collapsing, and immediately people rushing to help that girl. This was a short clip of, say, 5-7 seconds. I could not understand what is this video, and but then the person who had sent this video is a very senior person whom I trust very well, and therefore I originally thought that it might be some kind of a TikTok video, which is nowadays very popular. Maybe I thought that somebody is playing prank and sending such videos. And the second video which followed was more shocking to see, that where I could see that a lot of people lying on the streets, people panicking, and then they are running around. Then I did not know what to do. I immediately called the person who had sent me this message, because he was a very close contact, a very senior person. And I called him and I said, "Sir, what is this video you have sent?" Because it did not have any notes or anything. So I could not understand what is this event is all about, what is the place and all these things. Then he said, "Professor, this is at Vishakhapatnam. Why is that? There was a gas leak from an industry, which I'm not sure from where it is, but I'm getting these kind of messages. Since you are a teacher of environmental law, I thought I should pass it on to you because it might be of some use to you." Then I started searching for news items about anything, what is happening in Vishakhapatnam. I just Googled for it, and then I could see a lot of TV channels covering this incident live, and already it was all the news channels were carrying this news, that there is an industry called LG polystyrene, and there was a gas leak. Name of the gas was styrene, and because of they have commenced their operations the day this incident happened, just few hours before, after the close down of the industry for almost 44-45 days. And immediately after commencement of its operation, they found that the gas leaked, the styrene gas leaked. Almost 12 people died instantly there. Almost around 5,000 people ran helter-skelter to save their lives in a panic mode. There were a lot of people helping people evacuate. A lot of people, especially I could see on the video, uh, young men carrying children, old age people carrying women on their shoulders and then running on the streets. I could see that a lot of auto rickshaws are packed with people, and then they were sent by the police and the other men. Then I could realize that okay, there is something wrong happening there, and then I could see that 12 people died, almost 5,000 were affected, of which 1,000 plus people were injured. And this is because of, and everything was attributed to one particular industry and the gas leak from that industry. Of course, the disaster management team entered the scene and they tried to mitigate the loss. The government acted very responsibly. They immediately came to the site, including the chief minister, visited that place immediately in Andhra Pradesh. The disaster management team was working very well in clearing and providing immediate response to the victims affected. And again, the following day, as expected, there were petitions filed in the NGT, and the NGT immediately ordered the company, the LG, to pay immediately 50 crores to be used as an interim compensation to be used for helping the victims. Meanwhile, the Andhra Pradesh chief minister also announced that the government, Andhra Pradesh government, will pay 1 crore each for the deceased family members. Deceased family members. So this is one incident which, when I was tracking what is happening in this particular case, because I was curious to know, like as a law teacher, I just wanted to uh, know, especially while teaching environmental law, we uh, give more emphasis on certain cases. You must, as students of environmental law, you must be knowing about a lot of MC Mehta cases. And similarly, one case of the largest industrial catastrophe is the Bhopal gas leak tragedy, which had happened in 1984. So I was trying to relate this LG incident with the Bhopal gas leak disaster. And I was also trying to relate it with another incident which happened in 2018 in Tamil Nadu, in a place called Thuthukudi, where a industry was shut down by the Pollution Control Board, and people were protesting to permanently close down that industry called Sterlite Copper, and which resulted in again 15 people dying, not because of pollution, but because of the violence which followed the protests, which involved the police shooting at the protesters and killing instantly 13 people, and 2 more people died later. Almost 120 were disabled. Now, I am trying to connect in this session these three incidences. What has happened last week in Visakhapatnam, what had happened last year in Thuthukudi, and what had happened, say, 36 years back in Bhopal. But any given society would need only one such disaster to learn from it and to ensure that these things don't repeat. You'll see that in 1984, when this disaster happened in Bhopal, the disaster I'm talking about, the gas leak, the leak of methyl isocyanate from the Union Carbide factory, which was manufacturing a pesticide called carbaryl, using a raw material called methyl isocyanate. And immediately after this incident, what had happened in India, the US government came out with a law to ensure that these kind of things don't happen in the United States of America. My concern here is, now how did we phrase the title for this session is that humanity at times of catastrophes. And what is the takeaway from such catastrophes? There are three groups of people involved in any catastrophe. One is obviously the perpetrators, the people who were responsible for such catastrophes. The second group are the poor guys, victims, innocent victims who had nothing to do with that incident, but then they suffer all the loss, pain, and the subsequential, consequential suffering. The third group is the citizenry in that particular community, in that neighborhood, the state, the country. How the citizenry is affected? For example, the Andhra Pradesh government says that we will pay 1 crore uh, to the family of the deceased members who died because of the gas leak in LG. and government paying 1 crore to each one of them, say 10, 15 of them. This is taxpayers' money. This money, if we would have learned the lessons from the Bhopal disaster, we could have used this money for very many developmental activities to improve the standard of living of the people in this country. That is why I have included the third group also, who is an innocent citizenry, but who is also burning the bearing the brunt of these catastrophes. So let me start with Bhopal. Let me tell you the story of how this particular incident happened in 1984. And once we get into the details of that particular catastrophe, then we can understand what are the things that we can take away from such incidences. And have we learned our lessons from these incidences? Because every time you don't need to allow people to die to learn lessons. See the way the governments, both the state and the central government, is literally fighting out this unseen enemy called this coronavirus, the COVID-19. Why is the government so concerned about this pandemic and why they are doing whatever they are doing today? One reason, to save the lives of its citizens, this to save the health and the well-being